I'm not going to let anyone get in the way of me trying to make this country a better place, even if they're a different skin color than I am.
Yeah, but if you're saying I'm doing this for your community and they're like, bro, it does not matter. My community is going to be just as fucked with a Biden presidency as a Trump presidency. Like, I'm voting my conscience. You can't be like, you're fucked, you're stupid, shut up, that's wrong.
Well, I would
You
make a
know?
better argument than that, I think. But no, I would. The sentiment would be basically the same. Yeah, if they're wrong, I would talk about it with them. But when I argue with
They're
my,
not wrong.
well,
It's their position. You
okay,
can say, like, my position is that I think that this would be better, and I think that tactically this is better to make the world better. But you can't say, like, your position is wrong.
okay. Morgan Freeman famously once said in an interview that in order to address racism in the United States of America, we just need to stop talking about it. If you're on a public platform, millions of people are going to watch this interview. What do you say in response to that?
The big difference between like this example that you're trying to give here is that Morgan Freeman is like a millionaire, right? Like he's not actually facing racism in the sense that he's not facing, like white supremacy is a material structure. It's a material economic structure that affects people.
Let's say you're like a Vice interviewer and you're doing like a big piece on like racism in America, and you're doing a sit down with some like regular guy. He grew up in the Bronx. Had a family income of $23,000 a year, and he makes that same claim to you.
I would just not really know what to say, I guess, in that position. But like the majority of the Black community that is left and that is, not actually, that is actually struggling under white supremacy as a structure. If the majority of that community is saying one thing, like, I think we should listen to them. What you're talking about challenging is like somebody not wanting to vote for Biden. That's like completely different, you know? It's like they can be right about that, and you can also have your opinion about that. It doesn't have to be like, I'm right, you're wrong.
Wait, but you
Like,
could say
I'm
the
gonna
same thing
flex
about
on
fixing
this.
racism. Yeah.
I wouldn't say you're stupid, I'm right, you're wrong. I would say maybe my voice isn't the one that's like super important here. So here are some like important Black activists who are saying this other thing, and maybe you should consider looking at this.
The vast majority of Black people seem to be voting for Biden. So couldn't we use that as an argument then to like move them on that?
Well, a lot of people are voting for Biden because, like, A, of what the DNC did, B, because of the name recognition with Obama and everything.
Wait,
So,
you're weaseling though.
no, you're weaseling.
No,
Like,
you're trying to find an excuse for how you wouldn't feel comfortable critiquing their bad opinions in one respect, but in another respect, you do have the right to do that. I just don't think that a person's skin color gives them like carte blanche permission to just ignore contrary arguments when it comes to the efficacy or the morality of their behavior.
I'm not saying that either. But what I'm saying is that like you shouldn't be, if you're speaking for a community and they're trying to speak back and you're like, you're stupid, that like maybe your voice isn't the most necessary in this conversation.
Well, if I'm right, then my voice is, and they would be wrong in that context, so it would be.